And the Titans getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the city.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.